Welcome back. Today I want to give you a yogic breath progression for your lungs, how to use them correctly. And this comes from a request from a student of mine who was talking to me about opening up the pelvic floor and how all of you would benefit so much from this information. So I wanted to put together a very complete progression that goes from the upper chest to the lower chest, how it all fits together, how we want it to work for us correctly. And we're going to scale right into lower diaphragmatic breathing down near the pelvic floor. So that's where we're going. So let's get into it. So the first thing that we can do is lay down on the floor and put one hand on your chest and one hand below the rib cage, below the diaphragm, and then breathe in. And just notice how your hands move. Is it only the chest that's moving? Or is it the stomach that is making way for the diaphragm to move? So this is our first test, and we want to breathe into the stomach and just a little in the chest. So we want 1, 2. Try that out, a few breaths. Breathing in, maybe the chest rises a little bit. Then the chest goes down as we breathe out, and the stomach goes down. Breathe in and out. Once we've established that we are breathing into the lower diaphragm and the stomach is swelling to make way for the diaphragm, we're ready for the next step. Place your hands on either side of the ribs, and as you breathe in, let your hands swell out and collapse back in as you breathe out. We want to make sure that the rib cage is moving sideways. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Next, place the hands behind the back and see if you can feel the rib cage expanding backwards, contracting on the out breath and expanding backwards. For this next phase, you can go to your store and you can get some 5-pound bags of rice or 5-pound bags of beans. Get a few, and then we're going to pile them onto the stomach so we can force the diaphragm to work hard. Just lay down. Place the 5 pounds on your stomach. And now we're forcing the diaphragm to really get a workout. You can read a book, watch a movie with your family, and when you think you're good with 5 pounds, try 10. And now we're really getting a workout. And the diaphragm is starting to find its way, get everything out of the way, and push towards the pelvic floor. We're really opening up. By the way, don't do this when your stomach is full. And when you're really good at this, or if you've been meditating for a while, you might notice this doesn't feel like anything to me. And then you can get a 10-pound bag and put that on as well. And now we're really working that diaphragm. So this is 20 pounds. And if you do this, so if you do it for a short amount of period, if you do this for a short amount of time, it won't feel like a lot. But if you do it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes while you have to do something else, like read a project, read a book, watch a movie with your family. Kids love this. This is a lot of fun for your kids, by the way. That's really an amazing exercise. So simple, so easy. You don't even have to think about it, but it's such a good workout for the diaphragm. You really know you're straightening it out. You're getting a grip on what the diaphragm is, what it's doing in your breathing, and how you can really get into that diaphragmatic breathing as you sit and do heart rate variability resonant breathing like I teach on this channel. Really, really, really great exercise. I love it, and it's starting to open everything up. If we do a little fasting, if we do some intermittent fasting, we fast for 3 hours or 6 hours or 12 hours or 16 hours, like your morning meditation, you possibly have fasted for 16 hours. And if you get up when it's really nice and dark, you're going to have some melatonin in your system. It's really going to assist you to have a beautifully deep meditation. And now you've got the diaphragmatic breathing backing you up, making that heart rate variability resonant breathing even easier to get into that resonance. So amazing. Okay, lastly, I want to give you 2 very simple pelvic floor exercises. So it takes a little bit of feeling to feel way down there and see what we're working when we're opening up, getting things out of the way so the diaphragm really comes down, has a lot of room for that air. We're really expunging that lower gases in the lungs. As we learn to do this, we're making room and the breath becomes much more efficient. So fasting is part of that. You don't want to do this on a full stomach. You want to fast for a little bit at least, a couple hours maybe before you try this. And we're going to begin working the pelvic floor. And it's going to feel like you're breathing down by your bladder, perhaps. And that's very, very good. That's some really deep breathing. We're doing really well, and that's what's going to assist the long breath that we're trying to create in the heart rate variability breathing. That long breath. We say long because when somebody says deep, sometimes they think frequent, deep and frequent, and that will give you hyperventilation. So I'd rather say long breathing because we're actually slowing down the breath. So let's get into those 2 exercises. First is going to probably be very familiar. We're going to breathe out, and then we're going to suck the gut in and try and feel like you're pulling everything up. So breathe out. Suck the gut in. Pull all of this up. Pull everything in the lower abdomen upwards. Up, up, up. Hold as long as you can and let go. Breathe out. Better if you do it through your nose, but I'm breathing out so you can hear it. Pull everything up. Down at the lower abdomen, try and pull everything up. Up, up, up. And breathe in. So my student told me these exercises, and I looked at them, I'm like, oh, wow. I had a chiropractor that gave me that second one, and I did it like crazy. I came back, and I could lift my upper body off of the floor higher than my chiropractor had ever seen before. And I don't know why that is exactly, but it's a funny thing. So I was doing like 100 of these a day. So it's very, very good for your breath. Very, very good for your lower back, because as you strengthen your abdominal muscles, your body shifts its weight from keeping all the weight on your back and your back muscles, and it pushes some of your weight forward, and your abdominal wall takes some of that force, some of that weight. So very, very good for your lower back. If you did only this exercise for your lower back, you would probably find that you have much, much, much less trouble with your lower back. So pretty amazing little tiny exercise. For this last exercise, we're going to do a very specific crunch. And in this crunch, you want to have the idea that you're going to take your forehead straight to the ceiling. So usually when we do a crunch, we're going to try and curl our way towards our knees. But in this crunch, we're just going to send our forehead straight up. So it's a little bit different. We also don't want the sacrum to curl up. So the last part of your spine, it's going to want to curl up. But we want to relax our leg muscles into the floor. So we can place our hands on the chest, or we can place them behind the neck. Imagine you're going to send your forehead straight to the ceiling and raise everything up while you keep your hips glued to the floor. And that's the crunch. It's really dynamically working out your lower abdominal wall, opening up lots of room for our lungs so that we really get deep into that diaphragmatic breathing. And what that's doing for you is it's opening up that area at the bottom of your lungs, letting everything kind of move out of the way so the lungs can really open up. You get a nice, beautiful breath, and then easily exhale for a long, long breath, inducing that dorsal vagal complex, which is so amazing. In this war of the Kurukshetra, what the Bhagavad Gita is based on, that story. How do you win that war of meditation? It's so easy. We just pick the Pandavas. That's it. They are the dorsal vagal complex. You pick the winning team, you win. That's it. So if we just pick the dorsal vagal complex, we will win. The war of meditation is done. You pick the right team and you win. So easy. And that's what we're doing. We're getting everything out of the way so we can really easily use the breath efficiently to create change and stimulate, awaken that dorsal vagal complex. So I hope you loved this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.